After you've been discarded by the avoidant, you're probably wondering to yourself, is this person ever going to come back? This person blindsided you. They absolutely shattered your heart. They pulled the rug from under your feet. You got hit like a freight train. You didn't see this breakup coming. And it's like a punch to the gut. And you're having a hard time coming to grips with the reality that you're no longer together with this person. And you're just missing them. You're missing what you thought you had and wondering, are they ever going to come back? Well, if you go into no contact and legitimately stay in no contact, meaning you do not reach out to this person under any circumstances, and you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't plead, well, then yes, the odds are this person is very likely to come back. Now, avoidants, they are notorious for coming back. And they're also well known for coming back a third time, a fourth time, a fifth time, and so on. Meaning, if they don't do the work, if they don't work on healing their inner attachment wounds, the discard is likely to happen again and again and again. It's like Groundhog Day. The cycle repeats and repeats and repeats. And the reason it repeats so much is that the avoidant avoids accountability. They avoid doing the work, and they especially avoid self-reflection. Because in order for this cycle to change, in order for the relationship dynamic to change with the avoidant, they would have to self-reflect. But self-reflection requires facing your fears, facing your feelings, taking ownership of your emotions, taking ownership of where you went right, where you went wrong. In other words, accountability. And accountability is painful for an avoidant because that means acknowledging that they hurt people. And they've also spent a lifetime running from their feelings, suppressing their emotions, running from their problems, sticking their head in the sand like an ostrich. They don't face their problems. That's why they're called avoidants. They avoid. And they avoid emotional intimacy. But at the same time, they still need that attention, that validation. They crave it. And on some degree, they also crave love and affection. But the very thing they crave, they're also afraid of. So the cycle can repeat and repeat and repeat. And meanwhile, the avoidant is taking no accountability about this. They assign surface level explanations as to why this cycle continues with every relationship, or even with the same person. Right person, wrong time. It just must be the wrong person. Well, I was just too busy at work. Or it's the other person's fault because they're too needy. And as long as the avoidant avoids accountability, they're not turning their eyeballs inward, and they're not looking to see what it is within them that's causing them to do this behavior. They're not seeing what it is because they're not interested in seeing what it is. They're not interested in facing their feelings. So the cycle continues and continues and continues, and they're not taking any kind of accountability, and they are hurting people over and over and over again. They could be hurting different people or the same person repeatedly. The avoidant, well, they have a low self-esteem and a lack of self-worth. They feel like an unlovable person at the core. They were neglected as children, and they were shown that you don't express your emotions. So they learned at a young age to avoid their feelings. Combine this with the fact that they feel unlovable, it creates a fear of abandonment, rejection, and engulfment. So every time they go for emotional intimacy, it triggers all these fears. Those are their core attachment wounds. They need to have those healed. This almost always requires therapy and a commitment to changing their behavior. And in order to get to that commitment of changing behavior, they have to actually self-reflect. It's a must. So you have to ask yourself, if this person comes back, is it worth the risk? Are they actually committed to doing the work? Or do they want to sweep it under the rug? Just pretend that the discard never happened. Because if this person is not truly willing to do the work, and by the way, this should include therapy, you're just setting yourself up to get hurt again, again, and again. If you want this relationship cycle to be Groundhog Day for you, be my guest. But understand, you're setting yourself up for a world of pain if this person is not committed to healing themselves. Because how can they possibly provide a loving relationship when deep down in their core, they don't even love themselves? It's like flying in an airplane. In case of an emergency, you have to secure your own oxygen mask before you can help anybody else. The same thing applies to the avoidant. They have to heal themselves before they can provide a healthy relationship to others. Know your worth. You don't deserve to be discarded over and over and over again.